Hey everyone, Jordan here. Today we're going to be taking a look at another motherboard from Gigabyte. We've got the Z790 Gaming X AX here. Now, a few weeks ago I actually looked at the B650 version, so it's quite timely that we've got these in at the same time, so we can do a little bit of a comparison. This one is for Intel 12th, 13th and 14th gen, currently about £200, dollars, pretty much 200 basically, wherever you're going to get it from. So that's about £40 more than the B650 version or the AM5, so we'll talk more about the pricing and things at the end. Let's take the board out first and look at what we've got underneath. So Wi-Fi, this will support Wi-Fi 6E, and we have got a couple of SATA cables, one of which is right angled, and that's pretty much it. So these do have the easy latches as well, so you don't get any M.2 screws because they're already on the board, but yeah, very minimal for accessories in this one. Taking a look at the board itself, first impressions, looks very similar to the B series one, obviously with a different socket. We have got a 16+2+1 power stage on this board, some very nice chunky VRM heatsinks, so hopefully you can see down through that, nice and thick. So let's have a look around. On the top left we've got our two EPS power connectors. Going along we've got two 4-pin headers, we've got a CPU optional and a CPU fan. There's our first addressable 5V header, there's also a standard 12V next to it. 24-pin on the right hand side. Then we've got our USB 3.2 port, that's USB 3.2 Gen 1. Then below that we've got the USB Type-C header, that's USB 3.2 Gen 2. A couple of Thunderbolt connectors there, very handy if you want to use an add-in card. On the right angle we've got some 6GB SATA ports if you want to use any internal extra drives. Got a little reset button just below the SATA ports, and then our battery cell on the left. Front panel in the bottom right is standard, and we've got another four 4-pin headers, that's a total of 6 4-pin headers on this board. Another handy button, Q flash, so you can easily upgrade your BIOS. Then we've got two USB 2 headers. Then we've got another 12V addressable RGB and then another standard 5V addressable. Then we've got our audio options on the left. Now this board, like many other budget ones, is using the Realtek ALC 897 codec. I've had a couple of recurring comments saying, oh, it's still using that codec, that's not good enough or not quite as good as this one. But apparently this board is classed as low end, even at £200. So that's something you're going to see stepped up on the £250, £300 upward boards. So just something to bear in mind. For those of you that are really serious about audio, I have suggested in the comments to those videos, just get a sound card because you'll find the audio is so much better. So back up to the socket, LGA 1700, like I said, 12th, 13th and 14th gen. And then just lock this back down. DIMM slots on the right hand side will support up to 192 GB of DDR5 up to 7600 megatransfers per second. That's using XMP. You can push those manually if you'd like to. So now let's have a look at our slot. Let's have a look at our slots and sockets. On this board we have got 4 NVMe slots. Let's look at the top one first. So then taking off that, on the back we have got a nice long thermal pad. This will support up to 110mm Gen 4 drive. All of the storage slots on this board are Gen 4, there's no Gen 5 for storage. With Intel, it seems to be a little bit of a price bump. You really have to go to the high end, upwards of £300 to see Gen 5 storage. A little bit strange, but there we go, it is what it is. And then we have got a cover with some more NVMe's underneath. So then taking off that cover, on the back we have got 3 more thermal pads and then support for 3 additional Gen 4 drives. Again, up to 110mm in length. If you need to use this middle one, you can just unscrew this little quick release latch and just move it further down. But a total of 4 NVMe's on this board, up to Gen 4 speeds and 110mm in length. In terms of our PCIe slots, the top one is a Gen 5 supporting slot. That is linked to the CPU and also has a quick release latch on the end. Then we've got 2 more that are linked to the chipset down below. The top one is a Gen 4 and the bottom one is a Gen 3, both running at X4 speeds. So going on to the rear I/O, first we've got 4 USB 2 ports. We've got our Wi-Fi antenna points. This does have Wi-Fi 6E, like I said, with the antennas at the start. Then you've also got Bluetooth 5.3. We've got 2 red USB Type A ports. These are USB 3.2 Gen 2. We've then got a display port on HDMI if you're going to use a K-series screw, for example, with inbuilt graphics. The 3 blue USB ports, these are USB 3.2 Gen 1. We've also got a Type-C, which is USB 3.2 Gen 2x2. Then we've got a 2.5GB LAN, and also some audio options with an SP diff. I've just brought the B series board in to do a little quick comparison. This is the V2, but there's only a very subtle difference between the V1 and V2 for B series. It's just supporting AMD's 8000 is the primary one. Now this is £40 more. The only real difference I can tell is that it's got an additional NVMe slot over the B series. It's got 3 though still, so you've got loads on that anyway. Other things to note, just a couple of different positional changes. So for example, the reset button on the B series is down here on the Intel, and then the USB header is just up by the 24-pin, whereas on the B series it's down by the battery. Both of these are supporting Gen 4 storage, no Gen 5 storage on these, and then your PCIe slot is a Gen 5 for your graphics card, and then you've got the additional ones down below. So very similar. A couple of different changes on the rear I/O. Key flash button is on the back of the AMD board, whereas it's inside on the Intel. Might be a little bit more convenient on the back, but doesn't make that much difference. If you want to see a full breakdown, then just Google one versus the other, or find them on the Gigabyte site and compare them. This obviously isn't a full dedicated comparison. There will be a few bits that I'm sure I've missed, but I thought I'd just add it in quickly, as obviously this Intel one is very similar to the AMD. So if you've got any other questions, comments and things, then do leave them down below. I will leave this linked in the description if you want to pick one up. Big thank you to Gigabyte for sending this out for me to look at. Make sure you get subscribed and ding the bell, because we've got some really nice stuff coming up. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.